Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, we're here with another tier list, this one being on the best diamonds in 2K21. So if you guys are excited, make sure you guys smash the like button down below and comment who's your favorite diamond card to run in the entire game right now. Mine personally has to be the Diamond AK-47, but let me know who yours is down in the comment section. I'd like to see, what everybody's running out here. Also, if you guys want to, you can check out all of the positional tier lists that we do have. The PG, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers. Those will all be linked down below to see where these diamonds rank at their respective positions, as well as you can check out the pink diamonds tier list. That'll also be linked down in the description down below for anybody to check. Subscribe if you guys are new. On the road to 10K, all that wonderful stuff. And now let's get into it, because this intro's been way too long. So starting off with the D tier, you guys know we just like to show them all off at once, and there we go. Diamond Ben Simmons, Kiki Vandeweghe, Russell Westbrook, Antonio Davis, CJ McCollum, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Some cards that I think have some really big negatives. Russell Westbrook, just kind of waiting on a better Westbrook card, because once we get one, I think he will be amazing, because Westbrook usually always is a really good defender. Obviously, he's an amazing slasher, great playmaker, and a pretty decent shooter, but this card's release is just super slow, and he doesn't have good enough badges or stats in the shooting, department to really make up for that bad jumper. Antonio Davis, mid-range god, defensive god, but he just, he doesn't really jump out to me in this amazing card. The CJ McCollum is just terrible overall. So Zydrunas Ilgauskas is a great stretch big, but he's just 25 speed, man. No thank you. And Ben Simmons is honestly a very, very solid card if you're looking for that, very heavy defensive role, which some people are. They don't really care if their power forward or small forward is really shooting too much. And if you're one of those people, this Ben Simmons is going to be perfect for you, because he's one of the best slashers in the game. He is one of the best, most versatile defenders, and he's super quick, super nice. He just cannot shoot really, at all. And then the last guy that we have here is Diamond Kiki Vandeweghe, who is 6'8" with a 7'1" wingspan, which is great. But Kiki, for a small forward and power forward, is super slow, significantly slower than even our Diamond Ben Simmons, which is terrible. He's like a 70 speed, which isn't good. Not the greatest slasher, just kind of a good shooter. No defense, although you can add clamps, and even when you do, he's not going to be great. And he also can't finish. Really just kind of meant to be a spot-up shooter, but in my opinion, is still a better pink diamond Peja Stojakovic. If we were ranking him, I'd have Kiki above Peja, for sure. So now we are starting out the C tier. These are going to be cards that I think are still very good, but there's just some negatives in them that I think, if you have to work over them, they shouldn't be up into the B tier. There's going to be some controversial picks out here, but you know what? It is what it is. And there's one that I do think I may have jumped the gun on. We do have Diamond Kawhi Leonard, who I think is an amazing, amazing, amazing card. Overall, just does everything really well. Good defense, pretty decent shooter, okay finisher. But I think this card is just a little bit outdated, and he's kind of just waiting for an upgrade. Once we get a big Diamond Kawhi, he's going out 95 overall. He's going to be one of the best cards of the game. But I just think that this Kawhi Leonard is, solid overall, but doesn't really jump out to me as an amazing, amazing card. But still is very good. Next up, we do have the Diamond Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem, I absolutely love. I think he's honestly just one of those guys that really gives you a little bit of everything at the center position. He's just not the most amazing shooter, and now we're starting to get centers that can shoot from three. So if you like kind of, more traditional centers that have a good midi, really nice post hook, but no post fade, kind of just like a post hook cheese, good finishing, and, defensive rebounding is all there. Kareem's your guy, but I think he's just, not having at least a 70 shot three to have that basic shooting ability, I think really, really hurts at this point now in the year, because now we're getting, Arvydas Sabonis, a Tim Duncan, even Kevin Love, who can really shoot from deep and can still, do other things very, very well. So Kareem was down in the C tier. Next is Damian Lillard, who I should have moved over, but apparently we did not. So we'll do that right now. And Damian Lillard is one of those guys that I feel like is always really, really good in 2K, but this card just doesn't even have the ability to have clamps, and that's why we threw him down to C tier. Offensively, he's great, but not even having the option really to get clamps, I think, just absolutely kills any sort of motivation for me to use him. Next up is Vlade Divac, who I think is actually a pretty solid card. Again, one that I feel like you can really do some work with, and is one of the cards who is actually getting some shooting ability because he's 7'1", 7'5", has a decent shot 3 of an 81, but an okay jumper. It's not like amazing. His finishing's good. His post game's pretty solid. The defense is not too bad actually either, but it was just missing a lot of badges that I really feel like a good center should. And he's slow, man. I don't know. 66 speed. It's just not really what I'm looking for if in a center. I understand that he can shoot, and some people really like that, spaced out, card. But I feel like there's so many other guys who can do what Vlade does at center that we're getting recently that I'm just, I'm not really a fan. Again, if you wanted to put him at B tier, I could understand it. Great card. Just not for me. Next up, we have Diamond Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem, just another really great card that can threaten the 3. But my problem every single year with Hakeem cards is the fact that Hakeem has a good 3, but he always has such a terrible jumper that I don't feel very comfortable shooting a lot of 3s with him. So while he's amazing defensively, one of the best finishers, best post guys we have, he's decently quick as well. I just don't feel like he actually can shoot from deep. If you can get good with his release, I think you can definitely throw him in the B tier. But for me, just not a guy that I really want to use that much. You know what I mean? That's just me. Next up is Diamond Tyreek Evans, who I think is a really quality card, does a lot of things really good, but has, in my honest opinion, one of the worst releases in the entire game with set shot 4. It's the same one that Michael Finley, Dave Bing, and Peja have, and I hate the jumper. So much so that it really kills any kind of momentum that I have with the card. Also not the greatest of defenders, and I think the only reason that he's even talked about as being a decent card is because he has high speed, Hall of Fame quick first step, and a pretty decent driving dunk. But overall, he's just not somebody that I'm really going to be using. And next is Diamond Shane Battier, who for some reason, when I use the Shane Battier card, he's supposed to play better than I want him to. I feel like he's supposed to just play great. But for some reason, whenever I use Battier, he doesn't feel amazing. He's supposed to be a really solid 3-and-D guy. I get the defense, but for some reason, I'm just not able to shoot as consistently as I want to with Battier. He doesn't hit 3s as much as I want him to. There's just something going on with him, and he doesn't have quick first step or really that great of finishing either, so I don't feel like he really finishes that well. So for me, Shane Battier C. He's got everything going for him, but actually using him in-game, he kind of falls flat for me. Now, starting off the B tier, we do have Diamond Chris Mullin, one of my favorite cards in the entire game to use. He has lost his starting spot now to Pink Diamond Cameron Reddish, but Mullin is 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan. He's beautiful. One of the best cards that I've used shooting wise. He's got jump shot 22, which is great. He's got nice clamps. You can add quick first step and add some finishing badges to help him out, but honestly, I don't feel like you need it. You're kind of just using Mullin for that 3-and-D kind of aspect with the jump shot 22. And he does that beautifully. Along with having the Giannis behind the back, which, I mean, come on. How could you not love that? This Chris Mullin, he's just a beautiful all-around card. Next up is Brandon Ingram, another guy that I absolutely love because he just has, a little bit of everything that you want. And, ain't nothing wrong with that. 6'7", 7'3" wingspan. I love the jumper. Has some nice shooting ability. Has some really nice playmaking with off quick first step. But you really need to invest into some defense for Ingram, which, isn't that bad if we're being honest. And I think the main thing that hurts him for me is the fact that he just has terrible dribble moves. So even though I should be able to speed boost, he should feel shifty. To me, he really just doesn't. And that's really about it. Plus, he won't feel like that great of a defender. Even if you really invest into this bad, just because the tendencies are just like meh. But still, overall, I think Ingram on the offensive side is amazing. He's just going to be, I think, a slightly above average defender at best. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Diamond Scottie Pippen, who I refrained from putting up higher onto the list because I understand that I've had some really good experiences with Scottie Pippen. He's been one of my favorite cards to use recently, but his jumper's not for everybody. He's an amazing finisher, one of the best playmakers I've used at the 3, I guess not the 2, but at the 3. And his defense with Hall of Fame clamps, Heart Crusher, off-ball pest. He is seriously one of the best defenders I have ever used in a 2K game. Now, his jumper is super slow, which is why I took him out of A tier and I moved him back down to B tier. But you can add a bunch of shooting badges to him to really make him amazing and get that 3 up into the 90 rating. Once you do, it gets a little bit faster, gets a little bit of a better green window, and it's great. But with a shot stick, I really had no problem, and I found him super, super money. Plus, he does have the Giannis behind the back, and some of the best tendencies you could have basically in the game, if not the best, really, if we're being honest. Like, if he had a 90 block shot tendency instead of an 85, I really couldn't complain at all. Like, this Scottie Pippen, seriously, one of the best defenders you could ever use. Next up is Diamond Paul Westphal, a guy that is blessed with the Curry slide. I mean, how could you not love that? And yeah, I mean, that's really all you need to know. Paul Westphal's got the Curry slide. 6'4" is amazing, especially if you put him at the PG. And yeah, the only thing I wish this Paul Westphal had was deep threes, because the Curry slide to just bring you back a little bit, a little bit deeper than you would like. So sometimes not having deep threes can hurt you a little bit with Paul Westphal, but it's still a solid defender. He's got great playmaking. He's got decent finishing, but no dunking ability. Again, a negative of why he didn't make it in A tier. But it's still a super solid card, and I think it's going to give you basically everything you could want out of a PG, because he does have the Ray Allen base as well, which is wonderful, and the Pro 6 behind the back, which is also wonderful. So dribbling-wise, this Paul Westphal's a demon. Jump shot's nice. He's just missing some key badges to really bring him to that next level. Next up is Diamond Alex English, a card that not too many people have actually got to use because they haven't gone ahead and finished off all of the wins in Unlimited. I decided to ruin one of my days and go ahead and get the 20 wins in Unlimited, but this Alex English actually is super solid. The one thing you need to invest in is his defense, but he actually is one of those cards that has great all-around stats with a 70 interior, pretty good 76 perimeter. It's not going to be the most amazing, but if you do badge into it, it could be decent, just like Brandon Ingram. It's not going to be the most amazing, but with some badges, it can actually feel pretty good. He has amazing speed, some amazing finishing ability. The half quick first step is no joke. The 94 midi and the 80 shot 3 with the Carmelo Anthony jump shot, more than enough to be a consistent shooter. He can also speed boost, which is great. I just wish he had better dribbling animations, to be honest. And that's really about it. With some nice badges, this Alex English can basically be just a slightly worse version of the Diamond Carmelo Anthony that we have badged up, which is great. Next up is Diamond Karl Malone, another card that I feel like every year, or at least this year, has really got, I guess, dogged on. We got an Amethyst Karl Malone in the year that nobody really seemed to like. I don't know why, because Malone's jumper is money, man. Some great finishing. He has some solid shooting badges, so with that 80 shot 3 doesn't feel to waste, at least in the corner for me personally. It's been money. He also has some solid defense, but he's missing some key badges, and that's kind of why I left him out, because right now he's kind of a really good finisher with a decent shot, and Karl Malone usually just has amazing defense, and they just left out some key badges. Like, we have a Karl Malone without interceptor, without pogo stick, no trapper, no defensive leader. Like, that's a little bit tough. No worm even to go get those rebounds. So I'm good, but there's a lot of badges that are missing that I just don't feel like you could cover those all and get him to peak performance. So just slightly missing out there. So that's why we threw him into B. Next up is Diamond John Starks, another one that I've had a bit of a different take on than other people, and that's because I prefer jump shot 40 as, a catch and shoot jump shot, kind of like, I guess, Shane Battier has, but for some reason Battier is he's terrible, man. Like, on Bruce Bowen, off catch, Bruce Bowen is amazing. Shane Battier just didn't give me that feeling. But John Starks, I think, still plays amazing. He has some of the best finishing you could use once you get those badges into him. He has some nice shooting with silver range, but is missing some key badges, and that's why he didn't get put up into A tier. Because, let's be honest, how good of a shooter can you be if you're missing Deadeye, Green Machine, Hot Zone Hunter, Set Shooter, and Sniper? Like, it's going to be tough. You also have to add a quick first step. But once you add quick first step, you add Pro Touch, you add Rise Up, you add Posterize Up to him, Highlight Film, Acrobat, then this John Starks is going to feel like one of the best cards in the game, finishing and defense-wise. He's just not going to have that next level shooting. And I've probably been spoiled with Curry, but still, John Starks is a great card. Next up is Diamond Giannis Antetokounmpo, just a card that's suffering from lack of badges, but it's Giannis, so I feel like putting him below B tier just isn't fair, because yes, he doesn't have the badges you would want. Yes, he has a low 3. Yes, he is missing some key things that we would like, but still going to be an amazing finisher, going to be a super versatile all-around defender that can guard basically everybody from the point guard to the center pretty well, unless it's like, drop steps in the post, because his strength's not the highest. Can be a great shooter from mid-range. He's just really not going to hit threes, but I mean, it's still Giannis. He's still glitchy. He's still cheesy. He's going to be fun. Next up is Diamond Clyde Drexler, one of the cards that dropped recently that I feel like is actually super nice, but like John Starks, is just missing a little bit of shooting, which you can actually make better. But with Clyde Drexler, you're going to want to add clamps onto him, obviously. He has amazing defensive stats. He's just missing clamps and pick dodger. Once you do that, beautiful. Has quick for step and downhill, beautiful. Has amazing dunking, and once you badge up the shooting, it could actually be really nice. I love the jumper on Clyde Drexler too. Jump shot 5 is slept on as a jumper. He's just not going to be, I guess, the cheesiest card. So again, if you want to put Clyde up into A, I actually wouldn't be too mad about it. I just felt like we had some nice shooting guards and small forwards in there that one-upped Clyde in there, so he kind of got the short end of the stick and went down to the B. But still is an amazing card that you should not sleep on, and everybody should give it a try because he's actually really, really solid once badged up. Next up is Diamond Cliff Hagan, who has a big negative in the fact that he's a little bit too short to be playing the shooting guard position at 6'4", but you gotta love the hop, catch, and shoot, hop, deep threes, difficult shots, and deep threes. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. Now, again, just like John Starks, we don't have Deadeye, we don't have Green Machine, and we don't have Hot Zone Hunter, we don't have Sniper, we don't have Rhythm Shooter. That's a big deal. But he still has amazing defense, he still has amazing playmaking, and he can dunk a little bit as well, which is nice. The tendencies are pretty lackluster. Jump shot 17 is not my favorite jumper. I actually kind of hate it, and that's actually kind of a big negative for me, which is why I put Cliff Hagan in here. If you like jump shot 17, you don't mind that it pulls you forward a little bit, and you can get used to it. It's the same jumper as John Havlicek. Then you know what? Cliff Hagan could be an A-tier card and can be really like demon-like for you. But for me, I hate jump shot 17, and it really holds this Cliff Hagan back. But everything else on the card still keeps him, I think, into the B tier. Next up is the Diamond Kevin Durant, another card that I think is super outdated. But again, like Giannis, it's KD. There's going to be no way where he isn't still at least B tier right now because his animations are just so silky smooth, are just so nice, and he can still dunk, he can still shoot amazing, he can still play pretty quality defense, although not amazing, but quality defense. He's still going to feel quick, he's still going to feel shifty, he's still going to feel nice. And if you do add a nice little dynamic duo boost with the Andre Iguodala, you can also get some 93-point shots and a 95 driving dunk, which is cool as well. Not that that went into the ranking, but just something I wanted to shout out. And last but not least, into the B tier is Ja Morant, a card that I think is so good offensively that it can kind of make up for his lack of defense, but let's be honest. There's never been a world in which Ja Morant has clamped all game consistently and not let up a lot of buckets. But on the offensive end, he has basically every single badge that you could want in the game besides Sniper. That's a big one that he's missing, but an amazing finisher with a 95 driving dunk, fearless finisher, highlight film with slithery, has a great shot at mid, has a great shot 3, has amazing speeds, has an amazing jumper with the PG base, which is one of my favorites, and he's just a killer, man. Ja is insanely hard to stop on offense, or when he's on offense, but when he's playing defense, it's pretty easy to abuse that matchup, so that's why he went into the B tier. Starting off the A tier, we do have the Diamond Bam Adebayo. I'm still standing strong that this Bam is a beautiful, wonderful card. And if you disagree, you just haven't used him yet, man. I'm telling you guys, Bam is beautiful. He's a great finisher, playmaker as a center, insane. It comes with dimer, downhill, and quick first step, which is great. And defensively, he's one of the most versatile defenders I've ever used. At 6'9" with a 7'3" wingspan, he can play both the 3s and the 4s and the 5s really well, and even if he gets switched out, he has silver clamp, so it's really not going to be that big of a mismatch, and I just love that. Also, didn't mind his jumper whatsoever, was still able to get really consistent shots with it. You badge him up, you had to catch and shoot into corner specialist, Deadeye even, and he's going to be absolutely insane, really going to start killing it for you. Bam Adebayo, he's just a great card. Next up is Arvydas Sabonis, who is basically shooting-wise, the best stretch big that I've used in the game, but he's just way too slow, man. Way too slow. Once you add deep threes, he's amazing. I don't like the fact that he doesn't have pogo stick or rebound chaser either. That's something that a lot of people tend to forget on this Arvydas. That's why he doesn't feel like a good rebounder when you've used him, because he doesn't have rebound chaser and he doesn't have pogo stick. And that's why I've kept him out of S tier, because he has almost everything that you would want. His animations are great, his size is great, but he's missing a few key things that would really move him to that next level. Next up is a Diamond Tim Duncan, a card that I love, I still think is great, but I mean, Timmy is slow, man. Timmy is slow, and so is that jumper. But in the post, he's amazing. He's a great shooter. He's a great defender all around. Super versatile. Has gold clamps. Has a pretty good lateral quickness for a guy that's 6'11", and should be playing the center, which is great. And again, run him at the center. Tendencies on defense and offense are really, really, really solid. He's just really held back by the fact that he's slow and the fact that his jumper isn't the quickest. But other than that, Tim Duncan's got you. Next up is Diamond Rudy Gay, and that's just because the Rudy Gay jumper, man, it is so smooth. Like, it is honestly one of the smoothest jumpers I've used in the entire game. It is just amazing. Slashing in the paint, this is probably one of the best cards I've ever used. Has gold quick for step and downhill as well on top of his 90 speeds, which is great. And Rudy Gay is one of those guys that's 6'10" or 6'8", but has that like 6'10", 6'11" kind of like big build, which is amazing. It makes him feel a lot taller than he is. It makes him a lot better of a defender. And speaking of defense, he doesn't have the badges that you would want, but is an 82 perimeter, so if you do add clamps, he's still going to feel like a great defender. He's still going to be a great card. Next up is Diamond Rudy Gobert, who in my opinion is a worse Tim Duncan. I mean, I've said it a few times, but I'm still standing strong to it. Rudy is worse than Timmy D. I will say Rudy's jumper is better, but he's just missing some key badges. He doesn't feel as good offensively outside of shooting as Tim Duncan does, and defensively still, I am leaning towards a Tim Duncan because I think you have to add clamps to Rudy, and that's just not amazing, but both I still think are very solid A-tier cards. Next up is Diamond Rafer Alston, a card who I absolutely love. Like, I love me some Rafer Alston. Trey Burke base, some beautiful, beautiful jumpers can come out of there. Nice playmaker. He can still get some nice finishes despite his decently low driving dunk, but still really can make a killing out there, which is great. Yeah, the only reason I think Rafer isn't an S is because we had two, I think, Diamond PGs that I thought were better than Rafer, so I put him into A tier because he just wasn't up onto the same level as those guys were. Next up is Latrell Sprewell, who has that jump shot for base, is one of the cards that you're very lucky in having the ability to add any badge that you would want in the entire game, which is beautiful, and is Hall of Fame Hot Zone Hunter. Love that badge. Also is actually one of the best defenders on the perimeter as well. He's a lock-in reward. He's probably super expensive at this point, but you can't argue against Jump Shot 4. It is just a smooth jumper, and he has basically every single stat high that you would want to. Has a bunch of nice badges. It's just some of them are silver, and you do need to add quite a few badges to really boost him up to get him to that top tier status, but once you do, great card. Next up is Diamond Jamal Murray. Bit of a controversial one, maybe, because he is decently overpowered on offense. Jamal Murray does have the Curry slide. He has a beautiful jumper, and not so many people realize how smooth the jumper was until, I did that gameplay and really showed off how great Murray can be, because, man, off leaner with that gold deadeye, gold deep threes, gold difficult shots, and Hall of Fame sniper, whew, Murray can be nasty. Also has a 90 speed, some great playmaking, an 85 driving dunk, some great finishing badges as well. And then once you boost up that defense, he still has an 84 perimeter, so he's still going to feel like a pretty solid defender, and has a decent contest shot tendency as well, which is awesome. The only thing that hurts Murray is they did nerf the Pro 5 moving behind the back, which is tough, but you can get around it, and Murray still is amazing, because I dropped a 50-point double-double with Murray like it was nothing. He's amazing. Next up is the Diamond Gordon Hayward, who is basically just a Michael Cooper on roids. He's just a better Michael Cooper. So if you liked Cooper, I think you'll like Gordon Hayward, and that's because they do have the same jumper, which is nice. Now Hayward, you do have to boost up to get that defense to get, kind of like Michael Cooper, but has some amazing finishing, has great shooting, comes with deep threes and deadeye on gold already, has sniper, has Hall of Fame catch and shoot, Hall of Fame corner specials, Hall of Fame difficult shots. I mean, it's Hayward. Offensively, he's a demon, and once badged up, defensively, he's going to be super solid too. Next up is Glenn Robinson, another super, super nice card that a lot of people know is good, but then get pretty upset when you don't recognize that he's good. But like everybody knows, this Glenn Robinson is amazing. Has awesome finishing, and a beautiful, beautiful shooter with silver deep threes, difficult shots. And we have Hall of Fame catch and shoot. Love to see it. Has quick first step and gold downhill on gold, has gold clamp, silver intimidator, which is beautiful. Tendencies are decent. They're not amazing. Has jump shot 29, which is a Zion Williamson jumper. Now, this ranking is one that I think is a bit weird because on current gen, Glenn Robinson is going to feel like one of the best cards in the entire game because jump shot 29 on current gen is amazing, and that makes Glenn Robinson an S tier card. But I play on next gen, and jump shot 29 is less amazing, we'll say. It's not a great jumper. So, A tier it is. A tier it is. And last but not least, in the A tier, we do have Diamond David Robinson, who is just a beautiful stretch big that once you give enough badges to is really going to feel smooth. He's going to feel great. Super tall. Love the ability to just space the floor a bit and just play great. I love David Robinson every year. Yeah, nothing more I can really say about D-Rob. I just love him, man. Great defender, great shooter, wonderful release. My guy. And now starting off the S tier, we have my favorite card almost in the entire game, Andre Karolinko. He's basically my favorite 3 and 4 to run in the entire game. AK is a demon. He is, oh man, base 98 is beautiful. And this Andre Karolinko is the best defender in the game. I mean, I have not had somebody who's been able to not only lock up centers, but guards, small forwards, shooting guards, power forwards, everybody. Like, this AK just stops everything on defense. He's the perfect guy to run at the 3 in your triple threat lineups because he just doesn't give up anything. He's going to struggle a little bit against the drop steps and stuff, but he has Hall of Fame Intimidator and Pogo Stick, so yeah, they're not scoring on you. Also has Dimer, Quick First Step, Hall of Fame Bullet Passer, Tight Handles, Unpluckable. He has Sniper, Difficult Shots, Catch and Shoot. Like, he is amazing. Amazing. He can speed boost. He has great speed. His defensive tendencies are amazing. Like, amazing. Has 85 contest shot, block shot, on-ball steal, and pass interception with an 80 take charge, a 15 foul, and a 10 hard foul. He's beautiful. And obviously, jump shot 98 is amazing. He has a long athlete layup package, the normal leaner, going to shoot like Ito. Yeah. He's a demon. AK is S. Plus, you could add range extender if you wanted to as well. And then it's really over. Next up is Zion Williamson. We kind of already know this. Zion is basically one of the best cards in the entire game. Feels a little bit better on current gen again than he does on next gen because jump shot 29 is it's okay in next gen, but it's pretty solid on current gen, which is great. And same thing goes for Chris Bosh, a guy who Chris Bosh plays so beautifully. Like, Chris Bosh really plays so amazing. 6'11" with a 7'3" wingspan is great. One of the best shooters you'll find at the center position because he does have gold deep threes, gold circus threes, gold difficult shots, and sniper. Still really doesn't give up too much on the defensive end either. And you can add a pogo stick. Please add a pogo stick to your Chris Bosh. It'll really help out. But still has his great post game. Still has his great finishing. He has a better jump shot now in jump shot 29. I think he had, I can't even remember. I think it was like set shot 7 or something like that on his other card. But it was not good. This Chris Bosh is everything that his Sapphire wishes it could be. Super solid card. Next up is one of the PGs that I said I felt like was a little bit better than Rafer, so we put him up here. And it's Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis is Curry without the slide. And that's not bad because he has the Curry jump shot, which is probably my favorite in the game. Like, money. Just doesn't have the Curry slide. Has a 98 driving dunk, though. You can boost up his range extender from bronze if you feel like you need it a little bit higher. You can boost up his clamps a little bit higher if you think you need that. But honestly, it's just an amazing overall card. Just everything you could want. Yeah, Monte, great card. And the fact that him and Zion, I think, came out at the correct time, same time, is beautiful. Next up is Diamond John Stockton, another card that I still feel, once fully badged up, is just a step above Rafer because that dunking is out of this world. The defense is still amazing, and his jumper is just lightning quick. Absolutely love the Stockton card. And last but not least, we do have a Diamond Eddie Jones. Maybe a bit of a controversial pick. Maybe some people think we put Eddie Jones too high, but Eddie Jones, I mean, 6'6", 6'9" wingspan is beautiful. He's got a solid jump shot, Hall of Fame quick first step. He has amazing defense, like amazing 96 steal and 93 perimeter defense. He comes with gold deep threes. He comes with gold circus threes. He's an 85 driving dunk, 90 speeds. He can speed boost. I mean, his tendencies, 91 on ball steal. That's beautiful. Like, Eddie Jones, he's just a demon. If you want to put him at, you think he's a little too high at S, that's fine. But I still think Eddie Jones is probably one of the best 3 and D cards in the entire game. So you can't help but love them. So that's what we have final for the Diamonds tier list. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section below. Anybody you put higher, anybody you put lower, let me know the specifics down there in the comments. Again, let me know who your favorite diamond card in the entire game is. Like the video, you guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.